Hey everyone! Okay, so the last video I talked about multiples. And now I'm going to tell you how we use multiples when we talk about fractions. Because multiples help us find things called common denominators. Okay, so what are common denominators? Well, let me help you with that. Remember when we were adding fractions? When we added fractions and we had like 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 2/3. And we said that the reason that we could add them is because all of the denominators were thirds. In other words, all of them had what's called a common. Common means the same. A common, A-N maybe, I don't know, common, O-N, common denominator. That's what happens when you do these live. Denominator. How many of you sound things out like I do? Or just spell them wrong? Sometimes we do. Common denominator. And common means the same. Okay? It's the same denominator. So if I had 2/5 and I wanted to add 3/5, I could do it because the denominators are the same. They're common denominators. Okay? But sometimes what happens is that we get a fraction like 1/2 and we're going to add it to 1/3. And the denominators are not the same. They're not the same. And so if they're not the same, what we can do is find what's called the common denominator. And what we use is the multiples that I showed you in the last video. So if we have 1/2, okay, denominator is 2, and we have 1/3. Denominator is 3. So let's list the multiples of 2. Okay, so let's see, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and we could go on, dot, dot, dot. Now let's list the multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. And we could keep going, dot, dot, dot. But remember, when we're doing this, we're looking for the smallest one they have in common. So I know you guys are already seeing it. The smallest one that they have in common right here is a 6. The 6 is the least common multiple. And guess what? The 6 is also what's going to be the common denominator. It's going to be the common denominator because that's the common multiple. So I'm going to say equals, and I'm going to put a 6 down here as a denominator. And then over here, I'm going to do the same thing. Equals, and I'm going to put a 6 over here as a denominator. So now you have to say in your head, 2 times what gives us 6? 2 times what gives us 6? 2 times 3 gives us 6. Whatever we do to the bottom, we're going to do it to the top. So if we said 2 times 3, then the top we're going to say times 3. And so now we have 1 times 3, which is 3. And over here, look, we're going to do the same thing. 3 times what gives us 6? 3 times what gives us 6? 3 times 2. So whatever we do to the bottom, we're going to do it to the top. So we're going to say 1 times 2. 1 times 2 is 2. So now we have 2 fractions that we could add together. We have 3/6. See, 3/6 right here. And we have 2 6. 2 6. And now, because these are the same, we can add them together. Because the only way you can add fractions is if the denominator is the same. So the denominator is going to be 6, and we're going to add 3 plus 2 is 5. So the answer would be 5 6. 5 6. Want to see another one? I know you do. I know you're so excited. You wish you were in front of me and we were doing it together. But it's all right. We do hard things. We can still do this together. All right, here we go. Let's try another one. Let's do 1/4 and 2/3. 1/4 and 2/3. Okay. So first thing, look at the denominator. Okay. Are they the same? Same. No. They're not the same. So I got to find one that's the same. Let's see. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, we're going to look at the multiples. Okay. So I got 1/4 and I got 2/3. All right, so the multiples of 4. 4, 8, 4 times 3, 12, 4 times 4, 16, 4 times 5, 20. Oh, wait, this should be a 3. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. Now I see it. Dot, dot, dot. I think that's enough. Let's do 3s. You want me to erase that? I know some of you do. You don't like it. Pete, I can hear you. I'll erase it. There you go. Okay, now I got to get my pen back. Pen, and I was using red. Okay. That was a 3. All right, let's do the multiples of 3. 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4, 3 times 5. Oh, I hear you. Okay, I'll stop. Look, there it is. 12. 12. We found that least common multiple is going to be 12. Okay, it's going to be 12. So what does that tell me? Well, what that tells me is that my denominator is going to be 12. My denominator is going to be 12. So I'm going to put equals, and I'm going to put a 12 right here. I'm going to put equals, and I'm going to put a 12 right here. Okay? So now remember what we do. 4 times what gives us 12? 4 times what gives us 12? 4 times 3. Whatever I do the bottom, got to do it to the top. So I'm going to say 1 times 3. 1 times 3 is 3. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do the same thing over here. 3 times what gives us 12? 3 times 4 gives us 12. 3 times 4, 12. Whatever I do the bottom, I got to do the top. So 2 times 4. Well, that's going to give us 8. All right, so now look what we've done. We now have 2 fractions that we can add together. We have 3/12 right there, 3/12, 3/12, and we have 8/12. We have 3/12 and we have 8/12. And now because the denominators are the same, we can add those together. Here's 12. Now we just have to say 8 and 3. 8, 9, 10, 11 twelfths. And there's my answer. Okay? There's my answer. So we find, in order to add fractions that have different denominators, we use the multiples to find one that's in common. We rewrite the fractions, and then we can add them. All right, I hope that helps. It takes a little practice, but you can do it. You can do it. We do hard things, and you can do it. All right, stay safe. Wash your hands. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.